Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the weekly review of Sean's Rock. I am Sean the King of Tourists, and of course, I am joined along with
And it's your boy Shark Mike. Welcome back, man. How we doing?
hey, man, it's good to always be back here with our guests, with our people, our listeners, and you. I mean, I guess it's good to see you too.
Yeah, it's
You
good to see a
know,
familiar face every once in a while.
it's good to see you too.
Hey, you know what I just
I was,
noticed?
what was that?
I didn't know you had your ears pierced because you blinged up over there. I literally just now noticed that. I wasn't
You
playing.
did not notice I had my ears pierced. I mean,
Nah.
you got a little bling in your nose, but I mean, I can carry.
Oh,
I
you see
guess
that?
have seen this before.
You see that?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'm like,
they didn't see the diamonds in the ear before, but now you got a piece of gold sticking out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
I was
like
thinking about putting 24K in my nose.
it's like you went. It's like you sneezed and like it didn't get all the way off.
Yeah, yeah. I just recently got my nose pierced, man, and it don't hurt. In case anybody wondering, it don't hurt. It's tiny. I got to wear this little stud for like 3 months. I would say the biggest drawback right now is forgetting that it's there. And like just like you just did that right now when you just wiped your nose.
Oh yeah,
I do,
yeah.
and I'm squeezing. And when I say like,
Ooh.
man, I'm like, my nose is, bubbling up, swollen nose. I already got a big ass nose. Last thing I need is a big ass nostril. Just one big
Uh,
left nostril.
I remember when my mother got her nose pierced. It was funny because she didn't ever get anything pierced, and she got her nose pierced, and she
uh,
loved it. So I got to ask. I used to have my tongue pierced. So I've done
oh,
piercings before.
oh, whoa! I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah, yeah. I used to have it pierced,
Confessional.
but hey, what made you decide to go ahead and get at the age of your 30 in your
I know, right?
30s
I'm about
to
to,
get your nose pierced?
I'm about to get a full body tattoo at like 75. I always kind of want. I'm not even gonna lie. I was about to say I always kind of want to do it, but me and my older sister, the one that always whoops me and went to Florida. We was planning to get one together.
Shout
This was
out
like
to you.
this was just like a spur of the moment, man. It was like me and a girlfriend were at dinner, and we started talking about it. One of the girls, the couples we was with, the girl had her nose pierced, and I was just like, you know what? Let's go ahead down to Ebor, get it done. Went down, $50 later, eyes watering later, got it
Mm-hmm.
done. You know, and it's so tiny though. I'll be like, how it look. You know what I mean? Like, how it look, babe. You can't even see it, man. Look, it just looks like I got a dirty screen and I got a little white speck, like
Yeah,
right
it was like
here.
you look like because I mean it's gold and your skin is a little gold tinted, so
Yeah.
it looks like you got
Hey,
like a witch
count
bump.
record that
You
comment.
know,
You hear what he said? He said your skin is gold tinted.
no,
Thank you.
I said slightly
No,
gold
no,
tinted,
no. I know. I heard it loud
slightly.
and clear. My
Of
skin is
course
gold
you.
tinted. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh hell,
Oh man. All right. What we
hell.
got? What we got going on today?
All right, so on today's show, we're going to talk a little bit again about ChatGPT. Reason why we're talking about it a little bit more is because hey, it's in the news and we might not be around for too much longer, but we'll get into that. Then we're also going to talk about Chipotle and it's fine, and also about some other unions that are, I'm sorry, union busting efforts that are not
Right.
playing out the way people thought.
Right.
And then finally, of course, we're going to talk about the National Tennessee Covenant school shooting. Um, and of course, our condolences go out to those who were the victims of this person. But with all that being said, and of course, we have Florida.
Of course. Of
So let's
course.
go ahead and jump into today's top story. Let's talk about Chat GPT again.
Chat GPT again,
Yes,
man. It's
yes.
just like this thing is upgrading up every time, every 2 to 3 months, it seems like. But basically, just a little refresher. I'm sure by now anybody that watches our podcast or listens to our podcast, I assume they know what Chat GPT is. If you don't, basically it's a kind of a chatbot program created by OpenAI, which is a software company. And basically, ChatGPT is kind of like Siri on steroids, pretty much. So
If
it's
if if
go
you
ahead,
really want to know what Chat GPT is,
go to
the
it.
latest South Park episode um has it has a very good definition of what Chat GPT is.
I
Go
heard that
watch it.
they had ChatGPT write the episode.
Yeah, part of here they wrote part of that episode. Yeah,
That's
it's
that's
actually
an,
it's in the even in the credits.
so listen. If you don't know what it is, that should give you a clue. Like, whoa, this is some new stuff. This is like when Apple came out with the iPhone, right? This is that new technology. But basically, when it first came out, it was just kind of like a beta, just like with any new software. It's usually like a trial run. You try it out. ChatGPT 3 was the original, and that was good. It was free to use until it got popular, and then I'm pretty sure you can subscribe to the new one now. But either way, this is like the smartest chatbot you've ever came into contact with. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
basically,
So good, you don't even have to reply to your girlfriend anymore. All
yeah,
you gotta do is go copy, paste, it'll find a good reply for you, and then you just send it back.
exactly. So ChatGPT is just like it's you can ask it pretty much anything, and it will give you not only a reply but a detailed reply. And what really makes it stand out is because has a very humanistic approach to its replies, right? So it's not just going to be like, when you're on like one of those like consumer, when you're trying to talk to somebody, talk to an agent, whatever, one of those websites, and it's just like, sorry, I did not understand what you're saying. ChatGPT is like, listen, this is what you need to do. This. It can tell jokes. It can write poetry. It can write scripts. It can do
Yeah.
anything to your imagination. And that
I
was
mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's writing like the latest few episodes or everything that comes on
yeah,
Netflix. I mean, if I was Netflix, I was like, look, if you don't use ChatGPT, we're not gonna give you 100 million. We're gonna give you like
exactly.
85.
In ChatGPT, you don't gotta pay. I mean, I guess you can subscribe, but you ain't gotta put it on the payroll or nothing like that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
basically, the real hype about it when it first started was for a lot of students that are in like computer engineering, right? Or like website development, right? It's a lot of code work. You get help. You can literally input, a code prompt, and for example, say, hey, I'm having an issue with this code that I'm writing. What did I do wrong? And it will literally correct what you did wrong and explain why. Now that's ChatGPT 3. Recently, just like Call of Duty Warzone,
See,
Warzone 2 came out. ChatGPT 4 is what's hot right now. This version, I think you have to subscribe to. I don't know how much they charge a month. You can go on
yeah.
openai.com to find out. However, this thing is scary good. I mean, this thing, they were saying it can pass with flying colors too, any licensing, any, whether you want to get like a series, whatever license, you want to take the board test, if you want to be a lawyer, whatever it may be. I mean, it does it in ease. And it's getting to the point where it's kind of like, is this thing eventually going to be the Terminator self-learn? Is this Skynet? I know a lot of people say that word
So,
Skynet. Go ahead.
so let me ask you this: are we gonna start having
Damn, 20 bucks a month.
dummies smart, portray themselves as smart because of this program? Because I mean,
Yep.
it just sounds like to me,
I'm one of them.
and this is someone who, and I've told this several times to our listeners now. Me and algebra do not miss.
No,
I don't
I've
like
never
algebra.
used it yet, and I'm 32.
Yeah, yeah. But if I could have, I probably would have done this. I had to pass it the hard way.
Right. I had to learn it and
Yeah,
then forget it. That's the
yes,
hard part is trying to
exactly.
forget that shit after you just learned
So,
it.
but now it's like they don't even have to do any of that. They just go, you know what? I'm going to do everything at home, put all this stuff in the system. It's going to spit me out the answers, and I'm good to go. And that's not just in English or things
It's
that
in
require
everything.
you to write, like a novel. No, they're talking like you just said, math problems. Now, come on.
Right. Right.
Engineering students worldwide are gonna be going. I'm actually not going to be. They're probably already using this thing. Going, oh, I'm
Yeah.
passing. And the
Yeah.
next thing you know, we're gonna have buildings falling down everywhere because they don't know what they're doing.
Right. Well, so the chat 3 version would make mistakes, right? It's not, I mean, it's never gonna be perfect, right?
Oh yeah.
It's hard to imitate human beings and their thought process and their mannerisms and slang and all that stuff. However, the newer version is like, with computing. All right, how do I say this? So when someone is like more skilled than you at a job, say if
Hmm.
you are going to engineering school versus someone who has 10 years experience as on the field as an engineer, right? That's obviously a huge step up. From ChatGPT 3 is like, say you going from engineering school as ChatGPT 3, ChatGPT 4 is like Jesus, pretty much like Superman. You know what I mean? Like how far that gap is. And it's getting to the point where like, a lot of students, I know we like to pick on students just because, they're constantly having to, use their brains and do stuff for their grades and so on and so forth. But you can use this for anything. I have a buddy
So
who uses it for like responding emails for his company.
Well, see, and that's fine. And that's the thing. For him, that's fine. For Heck, if you have already passed the bar or you've already passed, your dissertation to be a doctor, whatever, and you want to use Chat GPT to help you at that point, go
Mhm.
ahead because you've already proved you got the credentials to do it. But I'm sorry, if your butt sitting up in classroom and you're in year 2 or year 3, and all you gotta do is just put it in, plug some numbers in, and sit back and relax and wait for it to spit something out. All that for $20 a month.
Right.
By the way, that's a subscription for it. It's $20 a month.
That's worth it to
You,
me.
we're gonna have a lot of people graduating who don't know what the hell they're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
I'm just
Like, yeah, I
saying.
got my PhD in, I don't know, 2 weeks pretty much, and then actually throw you out to like, "Yo, Dr. Sirach, this guy's bleeding out of his head. We need you to, you got the skills according to your resume." That's
I
true,
don't
right?
like blood,
I don't like
so
blood.
no.
I can't. You ever see I think it's The Aviator with Leonardo DiCaprio, where was it The Aviator? Or no, Catch Me If You Can, excuse me.
Mm,
Where he was like pretending to be all these different having all these different
yeah,
careers, if you've seen it, watch it. But
yeah. It's based on a true
yeah,
story,
man,
by the way.
it's
Anyway.
it's getting to the point where, well, think about it like this, right? ChatGPT 4 knows how to do all this stuff, because it's sourced from I think with ChatGPT 3, it wasn't allowed to use like information from the internet. They just had kind of like an encyclopedia of
Oh, okay.
info. But I believe, I could be wrong, that ChatGPT 4 can pull info from the internet, which is good and bad, right? Good
Mhm.
meaning it has way more references, way more examples to use from. Bad because I don't know if this program could, figure out what information is true. What's because lately, what's the big last year with the not last year, but when the election happened, the false information, the fake
Yeah.
news, right?
Misinformation.
ChatGPT
Yeah.
is not a person. It's not gonna be like, well, that's fake. It's like, well,
No,
it's on the
this is
internet.
gonna. But it might be one of those things if the algorithm. I don't know, but if the
Yeah, I
algorithm is
was
written
like,
as
I know
correct
it's like it's almost past our age. It's just like,
yeah,
I don't
but
know,
if
man.
they wrote the algorithm a certain way, then I'm sure it knows exactly what sites to kind of go to get the truth
Right.
versus it's not going to go to like um
Wikipedia.
Alice Jones's like freaking page. Oh, he's telling the truth because it's Alice Jones. We already know he's lying, you know.
Mhm.
But it may go to like I don't know Fox News or CNN and say, oh, this is telling the truth versus we
Right.
don't know. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, I would hope most people are using it for educational purposes and not for like just random ass information. But it is what it is. Let me ask you this. Would you be more worried about the fact that Chat GPT can pretty much pull information from anywhere and they can, essentially, unless your job is hands on, why can't Chat GPT just do your job, right? Does it better?
Mhm.
It's more accurate. You don't got to pay it. Or are you more worried about ChatGPT? Because this actually, they were talking about this. I was watching the news earlier today about it being self-learning AI system, which it is, but the aware, just like in all the movies and all the sci-fi movies, once the system realizes what it is, it may decide like, hey, humans are a disease to this planet. I need to eradicate them, type deal. What
Mhm.
scares you more? Well, not what scares you more, but what would you be more worried about, like in reality?
Anything that's connected to the internet, because once anything connected to the internet can destroy your life. So
That's true.
you know,
And you match that up with, or excuse me, combine that with. Remember, I was talking to you guys about Midjourney and Dolly,
yeah,
the
yeah.
AI image. Man, you put Chat GPT and Dolly together. I would let them. Honestly, if they was like we're running for president, I'd be like, "Hey, got my vote, got my vote." And listen, I want to be best friends with this computer software. I don't want no issues. I've always been nice to Siri, Alexa, all of them. I got a good track record with software, so I'm
so let
good.
me, let me ask you this then: do you think you have a reason to use ChatGPT, and if so, would you use it?
I personally, I don't. I don't. I'm like most stuff. I feel like I wouldn't even know how to ask the question to Chat GPT because we work in the kind of the creative sector, right? Where
Yep.
it's more personal, it's more humanistic as far as our ideas. Now, if I worked in a hospital, if I worked, in construction or something where numbers are important, or like there's things that you just got to know or got to do, or it's a certain way to do things, then yeah, heck yeah, we use Chat GPT. However, it's like, you got to ask yourself, if you're in that position, like, am I going to rely on this computer software to do my work for me, or if I'm going to do it the old way and just learn the skill and mess up and improve. It's tricky, man. And then you throw money in there too, right? If I know somebody, my competitor is using Chat GPT and they're getting paid, well,
You're
either
gonna try and jump
get with it or get
that.
lost.
Yeah, you're gonna try and jump that because they've already jumped you technically. So
Yes,
you're like, oh, I'm not gonna be left behind. I'm gonna
yeah.
jump it. But see, the thing is, and you said a
And
good
it's hard
point.
to it's
Am I
hard to
gonna
prove you
learn?
used it too, though, right? Like,
Yeah,
there's no like paper trail.
no, it's out there. I mean, like we said earlier, you can't. They can't just feed it into a system and go, okay, find how this was made.
Right.
There's not one. All the system looks for is copyrighted stuff. It doesn't look for
Exactly. And you can tell it
that's
to just make up something. Like,
yeah.
just make sure I don't
But
get in trouble for this.
I mean, yeah, you brought up a good point though. Is do people really want to learn a skill anymore? I know I do. That's the reason why I
Yeah.
went to school and all that stuff. But not everyone. A lot of people just see the end result versus how to get there.
Right.
A lot of people don't care necessarily how they got there. So how do you convince people, hey, this is a great tool, but it's a tool. Don't let it just be it.
Right.
Because I want to
you
learn a skill.
it's
Because you
tough
don't
though.
learn it something, you're gonna be out there on the side of I-95 or
Homeless,
whatever,
yeah.
looking at a tire, going, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with
Yeah,
this
with
thing.
a sign that says, "Don't know how to use a computer."
Yeah, I know,
I'm not
right?
dumb, I just don't got a computer.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know, man, it's tough, man. It's kinda like, with our generation when we kinda shifted from having to go to the library and, like, doing research through books to having computers, using our research through there, right? I'm sure there's old heads that was like, "We used to have to go to the library and, an
yeah,
encyclopedia and find the sources," and, like, I get it, but
yeah.
this
I
is
mean,
like,
you still go to the library eventually. I mean, for certain things,
yeah.
Uh, I mean, the library is never really going to fully go away. So I see what you're saying there.
Right. And as of I don't know if today or yesterday, but I did see something about, now the politicians and, the people that I guess make the laws, they're starting to talk about possibly limiting ChatGPT 4. I mean, they see what could possibly happen. And
Yes,
it's nothing that pisses a politician off more than the damn truth. And ChatGPT has no reason to lie.
exactly. And you're absolutely right on that. A politician is going to be afraid of it because for one, let's take a speechwriter. This thing
Oh
writes
my
better than
god.
a speechwriter can read.
This shit,
Can
this
write.
is gonna be some Shakespeare type stuff. I swear.
Yeah.
My next, honestly, the next show, y'all just be listen. Y'all keep an eye on man, because I might be looking at a script to the right, like, and then he said, you know, you know what I think is gonna happen though. I think the smart thing to do. I wouldn't be surprised if they made another similar chat G because all these Microsoft, Google, they're all trying to make their own AI bots, whatever. But I
Yeah.
believe like they'll eventually make a kind of like a checks and balances type system where they'll have another chat GPT that is just to monitor the other chat GPT to
yeah,
be able to know
makes
whether you used it or not. You know what I mean? Like it's so take advantage now. If you don't know what it is, learn what it is. If you got to
take that
write a
math class
thesis,
now.
yeah, if you got to write a thesis, bro,
Take
ChatGPT, I need
it,
a
take it, do it
90
now.
page thesis by tonight. Like, all right, you got 10 minutes? Like, yes.
But yeah, I mean, and we're about to get into it. But right now, the powers that be, Congress and Senate, all them,
Yeah.
they're talking about banning things out of it. They're looking at banning TikTok.
Oh
They're
man.
probably looking at
Thank
banning this
God. I
if the
cannot
powers that
wait
be
till that
don't come
happens.
out and we have a TikTok page.
I hate TikTok. I honestly, I don't. It's past
I
me.
don't watch TikTok
I'm
either,
not
but
doing
we know we have
dances.
a TikTok page.
I know, but we don't dance on there. I thought
No,
TikTok
we
was
don't
just
dance
like
on there.
you just dance and people be like, "What is that guy doing?"
That's what my niece uses it for
Yeah,
all the time.
exactly.
All the time.
All right, what we got next?
But speaking of Congress and things, let's talk about Chipotle. Reason why I'm going to
Chipotle.
start this off about Chipotle, it's not all about Chipotle. This is how I'm going to start off with. So Chipotle, a few days ago, about 3 days ago, got hit with a fine
Slap.
for anti discrimination of unions, basically union busting. They
Mm.
closed a store in Philadelphia, I believe it was, that wanted to unionize, and so they
Okay.
closed they sent everybody home, and the store is closed within I think like a month.
You don't got to work tomorrow or next week or next month.
So once it went through the courts and all that, and actually made it to I think the state Supreme Court or whatever, uh, they got fined $240,000.
That's it.
That's what I said, and that's what everyone was saying. Because here's the thing: $240,000. You think, okay, big corporation, 240 grand. That might it
I mean,
might feel a little bit, but
athletes get fined more than that. Like, come on.
yeah. So they did the math. Times it was not times. USA they did the math. Chipotle makes $240,000 in a quarter of an hour. 15
Wow.
minutes. They make
Wow.
240 grand.
Somebody's on their payroll. Like, how much?
Yeah.
How about I just find y'all 240 and we call it a day? Like,
Yeah, that's
sounds
all
good to
they
me.
did. That's pretty much all they did. So, but they got hit with a fine. Fast forward to today, and Starbucks got grilled on the Hill today by
Okay.
everyone, by all the senators, both left and right side of the aisle. So Republicans and Democrats were grilling this congressman, sorry, not Congress, but the CEO, about why there's not a union in Starbucks when they've tried to start one several times.
What if you're the Starbucks CEO? You got to be like, okay, so y'all act like y'all didn't get Starbucks this morning. Then is what you're saying?
Yeah,
I'd be like, I'm gonna make sure you guys are banned from all Starbucks nation worldwide. Actually, it's like, God
well, shoot,
damn.
the guy, the CEO, Howard Schultz, he sits there looking at the senators, Senator Smith and Senator, quote me on it,
I don't know any senators.
Senator Markey, sorry,
Oh, it's Mars. Like,
like
wait, Mars is a
yeah,
senator?
Senator Markey, like he's just like, are you dumb or something? Because he's like, he's in there, you can tell like I make more money than you, so let's just get the show on the road. That's the kind of look the guy is giving.
No Venti for your ass.
And so, he keeps saying, "Oh, I give so many benefits and I give so many
Mhm.
things," but none of that matters. And that's what these senators are all trying to tell him. It doesn't matter about you what you give. It matters about you allowing your workers to organize. Chipotle thought they
Okay.
were going to get away with it and had to pay $240,000 to those employees of that store, but
So they had to pay that money to the employees.
to the employees of the store.
Oh, I thought they just got like fined for like
Well, no,
you
that
had to
that was
check.
the fine, but they're taking the fine and giving it to those employees.
Okay,
Um,
okay, that makes sense.
which still is not even barely a
Damn,
drop in the bucket for them.
I'm
Like
trying to work
literally
at
not even
Chipotle.
dropping the bucket for them. So Starbucks, and if I was Amazon, I'd be watching this closely too, because even though Chipotle got away with it, at the end of the day, Chipotle got away with it. I guarantee you they're looking at Amazon and of course Starbucks, because
Mhm,
what's trending right now on Twitter, by the way, is Starbucks got busted because it's been reported that Howard Schultz,
mhm.
that he broke the law
Wait, is that the
130
CEO? What's his
times.
name?
Howard Schultz.
Howard
He broke the
Schultz.
law 130 times across
Sounds like a
state
lawbreaker.
lines by
But it's
by
Starbucks, man.
doing
It's
this.
like it's some companies that are just like, that's okay. Like Amazon, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to everyone, all the Amazon workers. You bust your ass, you work hard, the drivers, the people in the factories, the people in the, at the headquarters. But
All
you
these
don't
thoughts
understand.
are Ciroc and Ciroc alone. Just
I'll take
saying.
blame for it. Listen, you don't understand the benefit of
I
Prime.
know where you're
Trust
going
me.
here.
You get a package that's not from Amazon, you'd be like, wait a minute, did somebody steal my package? And then you just realize it's a 2 week delivery time. Like, no, I'm sorry. Amazon, keep doing what you're doing. Pay those people more, but man, like Jeff Bezos is probably just he ain't even batting an eye at any of that. Starbucks, however, I'm kind of 50-50 on the coffee thing. I feel like you could
Okay.
just get a
So
Keurig
because
or
of the
something.
product you don't use or like a lot, you're 50-50.
Yeah, pretty
But
much.
if it was a product that you use a lot, i.e. Amazon, you want everything to stay
All I'm
like it
saying
is.
is if prime prices
You
go
want
up,
to
I'm
stay
gonna
like it
be
is.
I'm gonna be out there picketed like
Yeah, see,
no
that's what
more unions, no more
yeah, see,
unions.
you one of them.
But that's
So
honestly
that's,
that's what
that's it.
it's Sean. It's sad, but that's how people think. You know what I mean? It's like, does this affect me? Do I care about this? No, then no. Like that's how
But
they
see,
vote.
not all people think that way. And some people who think that way do it just because the alternative is something stupid. Most
Yeah.
likely, they're gonna get tied up in some crazy crap that they don't get tied up in.
Right.
Yeah, and some do it just because they're lazy. They're like, I got my
How
lane, and this is my lane. I ain't getting out of my lane.
Colin, can you see how much the entry level pay is for Amazon and Starbucks? Because like I like coffee. I don't know why I even drink it, but like, and I'm not saying baristas, it takes talent, but it's at the end of the day, man, it's just coffee. It's not something you need. It's not something you can't even make yourself. It's just a convenience thing, and it's like, what are you providing to me to where I'm willing to pay more? The average barista, let's see, in Florida at least, it's 28,000 a year or 13. Oh, that's kind of low.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, technically, if I'm putting the Keurig thing, the K cups, and the Keurig, I'm a barista. I know how to make
No,
a
no,
local latte.
no, no, not even. There's a whole slew of actual making coffee. The Keurig machine, while very convenient, is not the same as a fresh cup of bean roasted coffee.
Yeah, but
It's not the
coffee
same.
has been like, if you go to other countries, man, they just get coffee. Black, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of cream. Starbucks is like, you want sprinkles? You want ice cream in your coffee? Like, man, what the? I just want some energy because I'm tired. That's it. I just want some caffeine and I'm gone.
I mean, they have that too, but you got to order just coffee.
Yeah, I get nervous
Same.
ordering at Starbucks because they'd be like, "All right," and the name for the order, I'd be like, just call me Mike."
Yeah, because they call
Tariq,
you. Shoot, I was
Tariq,
about to say.
yeah. Is Shrek here?
Shrek.
Shrek order coffee? What
Shrek.
the hell? I'm gonna go
Tariq.
Shrek. Yeah.
Who is Torah?
Is this lady here? I'd be like, oh god, I don't even want it.
Cisco. Cisco.
Cisco, we're looking for Cisco. That thong is
Yeah.
ready for consumption. I'd be like, man, I'm about to just do mobile pickup for now on. Just go grab it and run out. Which I don't know. I get back on topic here, but that's so weird to me. The mobile pickup at Starbucks, because anybody could just walk in and they just grab it, and you
Yep.
just like it's like an honor system. It's like, oh, well, obviously it was theirs.
Yeah,
Like if I
that's
was
the guy.
homeless
Yeah.
and I had like one good outfit, I would just walk into Starbucks. Oh, grab a fake phone, look at my phone like I'm like looking at an order. Oh, this must be mine, and then just grab it every morning, and I guarantee they won't say nothing.
Well, now I mean, we off a tangent here, but I kind of go into it. Now because of DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that,
Mhm.
a lot of these restaurants have these like a kiosk type thing set up where they put all the hot food at
Right.
away from what they got to do. Is an our view, but they don't really monitor it like that. It's
No,
just
they don't
they
care.
kind of use that same thing like an honor system. Hey, you come in, you grab it, you go.
Nah, man.
Now, here's the thing: wait till somebody comes in and it's like, oh, just like you said, they're homeless or whatever. So they're gonna be like, oh,
But they just roll
well, I know
coffee
that
with no
this
money.
place, you know, is on DoorDash. So I'm gonna walk up in here, grab me a bite
But
to eat,
it doesn't even have to
walk
be
out.
DoorDash as long as you got the Starbucks app. Like my girl, she has a Starbucks app. Like she literally pre-orders Starbucks. Like how is that even possible? Like I know I'm gonna need coffee tomorrow morning. Let me go ahead and pre-order this right now.
It best be ready
So
by the time I
back
get there too.
Yeah, like a PS5. Like, yo, I'm trying to order this PS5 and some coffee. That's how it be. But I mean, I get it though, man. The union thing, like that's one thing. It's like they deserve to get paid more. I mean, $13.91 an hour.
Yeah,
I mean, that ain't nothing. And they're probably
that's
working. They got to be there 5 o'clock in the morning at some ridiculous time. Make coffee for all these uppity people who want literally, their name engraved in a damn whipped cream or something like that.
what's the average rent right now in Tampa?
Oh my
Do you
God,
think like
ridiculous is what it
15,
says. It just
15,
says
2,000?
ridiculous. When you sign a
Yeah,
lease, it says
exactly.
you owe ridiculous amount every month.
So how is someone who's making $13.91 an hour, or basically 28 grand a year, 29,000 a year, going to afford it when that's
No,
literally what they make their entire
well, that's
entire month?
but then that kind of plays into the problem. They know that. So, what are most of their employees? High schoolers, you know, college kids, to where they don't, they got room and board or at their college, or they live with their parents, right? So it's more the union is more for the
See,
the
every time we talk
adults.
about it, you seem to think that these people who work in these places are all high school
Hey,
kids
like,
and
yeah,
things
I
like
look
that.
like I ain't never seen like an old man working at Starbucks. Like, damn,
Oh,
dog.
they're there. They're there. This is
Oh.
all you go to, like the retail locations. Go to like Atlanta, especially Atlanta. Go, you
Damn,
will see it. I'm
listen,
telling you.
Grandpa, I said 2 creams, not 1. Get it together.
But the thing is it's not about what the age of the person is. It's about paying the person a correct wage,
Right.
regardless of the age of the person. You know, because now 13.91, that's way too low.
Yeah.
I'm still on the fence of $15 an hour should be minimum wage.
Yeah, you can't pay
Especially
them
now.
$13.91 and then the coffee costs $8 already. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Like, is
You
that
know,
I'm worth 2 venti lattes? Is what you're saying? You paying me 2 venti lattes an
I
hour?
mean, you're basically making like a couple $1 million a
Yeah.
day, and you can't pay these people $15 an hour. Come on, you can't let these people organize.
But how about this? Let's play devil's advocate. You pay them 15. Year later, they ask for 20. Then what? Then they ask for 25.
Hey, you at 15, you gotta work it. You gotta work your way up to that 20 and 25.
I know, but once you open those floodgates, man, it's
But you
you're at their
have to
mercy.
but you have to open those floodgates because we haven't changed minimum wage in 20 something years, 30
You
years
know what's
almost.
gonna happen though, and with Starbucks and Amazon, what's his name again? CEO Jeff Hodges of Starbucks.
Jeff Bezos.
I said Jeff Hodges. Whatever. I
Oh,
mean,
Starbucks. Howard
Starbucks
Schultz.
guy,
Howard Schultz.
Howard Schultz. If you Howard Schultz, you know what he's gonna do? He's like, you know what? Honestly, I can automate all this shit if I wanted to. You know what? I'm over this debate. Everybody's fired. Bring in ChatGPT 4
Okay.
in the robots. That's what is going to
Let,
happen.
let's talk about this automate thing, all right? And trust me, Jeff Bezos with Amazon, he can't automate everything because I've seen a little of this stuff, and you have to have a human involved in Amazon's warehouse issue stuff. Now, let's talk about this whole barista thing. How
Okay.
often do you go to the grocery store and use the self checkout line?
All the time.
All the time,
All the
right?
time. Because the
Right?
people want to
No,
talk
no,
to you. Like
no.
the cashier want to talk to
All
you
the
all the
time.
time. All the
Yeah,
time.
right. But did you know that if you were to miss scanning an item and walk
Uh-huh.
out, they will charge you with theft?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why?
Because you didn't scan it.
No, you mistakenly didn't scan it. You walk back in and say, I didn't scan this as an accident. They will charge you with theft.
Yeah, but everybody know the rules of the checkout line. You know, they trust me, that little thing that you put it on, that weighs it. Like, wait a minute, this bag is way too heavy for what you
Not
just
everything
scanned.
gets weighed. Not everything gets weighed. And now you can take things off. And plus, those things hardly work. And on top of that, you're now doing the job of going to the grocery store and bagging and doing the cashier's job for them. It's not automated. You're just doing the job yourself.
I kind of like that. I would say this: the only grocery store I like
I
to
don't. I know.
talk to
See, I'm
people
sorry.
at.
I'm not gonna get. I want the person to who is his job it is to ring me up. That's their job. My job is to shop,
Or
not to
maybe
do
they'll
their
have
job.
like a virtual person, and if you miss something, be like, hey, sir, come back here real quick. If you're talking to the screen, come back here real quick. Yeah, that
So
Xbox. Yeah, you
when
didn't
that
scan
system messes up
that.
and you don't have anyone to fuss at, what are you
You
gonna
run
do?
out. You run out the store.
You run
You
out.
want
You're gonna run out the store.
you want it for stealing oranges, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I doubt that happens a lot,
It
but
does.
you would. Okay, I would say this: you would need obviously a human there, but you would need. I feel like you need less human checkout lanes and more automated ones, because that's
No,
what's going to
because
happen.
have you seen Target's automated checkout line?
You know,
It is
I'm not really a
ridiculously
Target guy.
long. Ridiculous. If you had actual people
Uh-huh.
whose job it was to check you out, it goes like this.
That's
But
true.
because they want to save money, now you only have two or maybe one register. If you're Walmart, you don't have any, and they're all in the self checkout line, and that line's going like halfway across the store
You know
because
what you
no
do?
one knows what the hell they're freaking doing
You know what
because
you
they
do
don't
next
get
time?
paid or trained to do it.
This is what you do next time. You get it
So it
delivered.
and it's
You know
yeah,
they got
and
that.
it's getting and even with delivery, how often does your cold stuff come warm? Happens. Or
Well,
you
I go to Trader Joe's and everybody's friendly in there and they never give me a hard time. And they always check my eggs because I never check them personally. And then when they open them and they'll be
you're
like
not even a
little,
good grocer. You never check your eggs. Who doesn't check
nah,
their
man, I got
eggs? You
time for
got to
that.
check your
That's
eggs.
their
You
job.
got it takes 2 seconds. Oh,
And then they
eggs.
ring the bell, ding, 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 ding. I'm like, what happened? I win $1 million. Like, no, your eggs are broken. I'm like, oh, damn, you got to ring the bell. Like it's like I won something. This is embarrassing.
I want the people whose job it is who gets trained to do it to do their job. not me doing the job that I'm not paid, that I don't get paid to do.
That's
Because
true.
every time you do an automated service, you don't get paid to do that, but you're doing that job.
Yeah. I mean, Uber Eats. I mean, they mastered it pretty well.
Yeah, they Uber Eats because you don't do anything. All you're doing is having the stuff delivered. But I'm
Yeah, but
talking the
think
automated
about what
thing.
you
I'm talking about
save
going to
in
an automated
gas.
store, automated anything automated that you have to go in and physically use. You're not doing a
Okay.
person's job versus the person doing the job and getting paid for it. You're not
All right.
getting you're not doing the job for free. You're not doing everything yourself and doing another person's job for free and not getting paid for
Colin, what you think? I'm just kidding. We don't want your opinion, Gen Z
it.
or Gen X or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
He looked up too. He was like, "What? Somebody say my name?" No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure Colin
Nah.
probably prefers. Okay, a little bit of both, I guess. Life's about balance, you know. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
But to get back on the whole thing, these corporations, Amazon,
Starbucks.
well, he's 20 something. He's gone to me every time. Amazon, Starbucks,
My boy.
you know. You don't have to
Yeah,
talk. Who
exactly.
talks?
So
You don't. I don't talk to them. I just put
they
the stuff
talk to
up there
you.
and keep it going. No, they
Oh,
don't.
and don't go to
to
the
Winn-Dixie.
Publix. Listen,
Go
don't go to the.
No. Hey, I like the way because the Publix actually talk to you. They give you like a conversation. At Winn-Dixie, it's like get the heck out of my line.
No, Publix be
Okay,
hiring.
not all Winn-Dixies are like this, so please, Winn-Dixie, don't be suing me.
Listen, the Publix
Allegedly.
off of, I think it's off of Platt. It's like in South Tampa. It's by the bar I work at. I don't know. Listen, I love that they're for the community, and Publix is great, right? I said it's new to me, but it's great. But some of the cashiers they just want to talk to me. I'm like, bro, just I mean, y'all take
You
Apple
haven't
Pay,
done
yeah.
enough grocery shopping yet.
I haven't, but the times I have gone, it's just
You
like unless you helping me find something, like scan.
That's
How
why they're
much? Here you
talking to
go.
you. That's
Yeah.
why they're talking to see if you found
Oh, okay.
everything.
Oh,
Versus
okay.
you go to Winn-Dixie or whatever, they don't say a word to you. Or I'm not just gonna sing out Winn-Dixie.
Sean
And
hate
all
with
these.
Dixie. Like,
No, I
damn,
like when. Hey, I got one right
what
here.
they do
That's
to
why I don't
you?
want him to sue me. I got one right at my
What
house.
they do to you?
I like when it, but they don't
You
talk to you really.
wait. Did you get the hot stuff code or the cold stuff hot from Dixie?
Actually,
That's why you
okay. You know, let me tell
calling
you my
them out.
Winn-Dixie story. We're gonna move on after this, but I'm gonna tell you my Winn-Dixie story. And this is what they put a bad taste in my mouth. Okay. So I went to Winn-Dixie a few weeks ago to buy a propane tank, right? I went grocery shopping to the store.
I'm not gonna ask what it was for.
All I was gonna do is change the propane tank because I want to do some grilling.
Okay.
Well, the acting manager lady at the store, after I went through the grocery store, and all that mess, paid for the stupid tank,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, so I need someone to come exchange the tank for me. They're like, oh, go ask Billy, he can get it for you. Who's Billy?
I was about to say, like, yo, lady,
How do
I
I
don't
know
work
who
here.
Billy is?
Yeah,
I don't work here.
You should have grabbed one of the intercom phones, like Billy to the front, please.
I
We
was
got a
half tempted.
propane tank.
And then the lady's like, and then some guy gives a whole freaking, let's just call it a Republican joke, not against. He's a Republican joke. Basically, he's saying, "Oh, you can blame Biden for this." I didn't ask nothing about no Biden. I need a propane
Oh
tank
my
for
god,
my
I get
car.
so sick of that. Like, yo, like, what are you bringing up politics for? I just want propane tank.
Yeah. But then the
What's
lady,
this got to do with
the
it?
manager on duty woman or whatever, she laughed about it and like, yeah, you're right. You can't work. You can't get paid for working. Lady, you work here. You're getting paid to work, but you're not doing your job. I need someone to get me a propane tank. And you just said,
Wow.
ask Billy. Come on.
That's a very generic name,
that
too.
point, I had it up. I said, look, you need to find out whoever Billy is, tell him meet me at the propane saying, I'm going outside to get the stuff. I'm done with you. And out I went.
Exactly. And Billy's a generic name. It's probably 20 Billies that work at Winn-Dixie.
That's what I'm saying.
20 people that showed up like,
but now
here's
my point. Here's my point. If it was all automated, I wouldn't have anyone to fuss at.
Nope. And nothing would have went wrong either.
Put
your propane tank here.
One way to get me a propane tank.
Take the new paint. Have a great day. Bye.
Someone had me a propane tank. But that was anyway. That's my Winn-Dixie story. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. At least Amazon is paying their workers a little bit above minimum wage, livable wage.
Yeah,
Starbucks
in freaking New Mexico or something.
Yeah, true. I didn't
here.
say where. I just said it was livable.
Right.
I didn't say where.
As long as one state is livable, that counts as livable everywhere.
But I don't know anywhere you're gonna be able to survive on basically $13.91 an hour
Yeah,
from
like
Starbucks.
honestly, like that's a high school job. I'm sorry, unless you like some like barista guru and you just you got some your own coffee shop. It's just I mean I'm sorry, it's that's what it is. And no disrespect to baristas out there that's working at Starbucks, but I don't want to be up at 5 a.m. like good morning. What do you want? A venti, a grande? What's your name? I don't want to know your name. They got asked that too. Like I don't want to know your name. I see who you are. I know
Yeah,
what you ordered. How many Jeffs could
that's
be in
true.
here? Oh man.
All right.
Damn,
But
I
with
can
that
get some
being
coffee
said,
right now.
uh,
Yeah,
let's
damn.
go ahead and talk a little bit about a little bit of a more solemn subject: the Nashville, Tennessee Covenant school shooting. So, as you know, 2 days ago, a person, when I because I don't know if the person is transitioning to a woman or transitioning to male, I'm not going to
I'm about to
elaborate on
transition. They
that.
about to transition to prison. That's
But
where they
but
transitioning to.
but a person decided to shoot 3 adults and 3 kids
Wow,
at
that's
this
messed up.
school, all the age of 9, all under the age of 9.
Is this
Um,
elementary or what are you at,
Elementary,
9 years
yes,
old? Yeah.
elementary. The person was shot and killed by police. You can actually see the video
Oh, never
online.
mind.
You can see the video online.
I take back what I said
But
about the transition to prison. He transitioned to the graveyard.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly yeah, exactly where it belongs. Now the thing is they any other shooting within
Hmm.
2 days, they have a somewhat of a motive, right?
Right.
They haven't came up with a motive for this one yet. All they can say was they might be mad about having to go to that school, but they don't. They're not sure about that yet.
That's
But this person had to have a manifesto, had to have all this other stuff because they knew they weren't going to get out of there.
yeah.
So, what are you not telling us?
It's just crazy to me. Like that's like what's hot now. What's been hot lately, past couple years, school shootings, right? Well, I mean, obviously, it's always going to make
A few years,
the
really.
national news, but it's just like, I mean, it. I feel I can remember when Columbine happened in the '90s. That was a
Hmm.
huge deal, right? Some
Oh
dude,
yeah,
they shot up the high school and all that stuff. But it's kind of sad because it keeps getting like at younger and younger schools, high school, and then grade schools, and then elementary. It's just like your victims are pretty much helpless at the end of the day. And I know, I don't know if I mean I haven't been in school and obviously in high school and grade school a very long time, but I assume I remember in high school though we did have like security and we had to wear what do you call it lanyards because we're having some issues with kids from different schools. They come up and fight and all this stuff. Long
mm,
story short, like we had security and like I can imagine when I was in school or even elementary, like there was no security. There was no worry about someone coming in and shooting up the place, shooting up some kids is you mad. You just want to kill somebody. You want to
yeah,
kill the easiest victim you can find. You might as well shoot an infant. Like
yeah.
it's kind of sad. And obviously this is still developing, and I'm sure we'll find out some more information as the days and weeks goes on. But it's like what a coward,
Coward.
man. That's a
Yeah,
that's such a cowardly thing to do is, innocent victim who can't fight back, who don't even probably I mean, them kids probably didn't know what the hell was going on. You know what I
no,
mean? And
no,
I don't know, man.
no
It's
clue.
like, I'm kind of 50-50 on the whole gun law thing. It's like you should be able, hell yeah, you should be able to protect yourself and carry and have a gun, but on the opposite end, not everybody that is allowed to get a gun is going to use it to protect themselves. They're going to use it to kill somebody, intentionally. And I feel like it's going to be a forever debate. It has to be.
It's going to have to be a debate, but it's going to be one of those debates that's not going to have any clear winner because
Right.
there's yet to have a clear winner, and this has been going on since they put in the
Forever.
First Amendment. They've
Yeah.
been debating gun control, and this the thing is, school shootings is nothing new. They've been
Right.
having them since the 50s,
Right.
you know. So it's not anything new. It's just the frequency of them and the amount of death involved in them
It's almost like
has
once a year, pretty much once or
yeah.
twice a year.
Oh no, we've had this year alone, I think 4.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're more likely to get killed at school than just out and about.
Yeah, yeah, that's someone who has that who had school age children. Thank goodness they are adults now. That was a scary thought,
Right.
believe me, because you don't know because it's not the weird guy or the quiet guy, or you just don't know. It could be
Yeah,
the
somebody who don't even go to that school, who's just like,
exactly.
you know what, the door's open. Let me go in there and do what I got to do, type deal.
Yeah, and so it is going to be one of those baits. So
That is
there's been 13 school shootings this year already. 23 people killed,
that is that's terrifying a little bit. Like I don't have any
isn't it?
kids,
It's just
but
March.
I could
Well,
imagine
yeah,
if I'm a parent, honestly, especially what's going on. I mean, I know school shootings happen all the time, but with the ease of access to information, we're constantly getting bombarded with news, fake news, real news, trends, whatever it may be. It's almost too much, man. You got to turn it off. And if I had children, I would just homeschool them at this point. You got ChatGPT. ChatGPT would teach your kids everything it needs to know.
oh, you
I
laugh,
mean, and
but
they can play sports outside of school if they want to socialize. But if you live in any state or country that has such lax gun laws, that has to be a big concern from you. And I'm sure there's plenty of I know they call them gun nuts, who are pro gun. Everybody should be strapped, that live in states with lax laws, and I'm sure they have kids, and I'm sure they're thinking about, like, damn, like, maybe I can reconsider my views, because me personally could be pro gun, but now I got to realize that, hey, if someone else is pro gun and they go off the rocker and they shoot up a school that one of my children go to, like, nobody really thinks like that, right? It's all a selfish mindset. So it's a lose-lose situation at the end of the day.
so while speaking of lax gun laws in certain states, um, while preparing for the story, I was reading up on Tennessee, especially. And
Hmm.
here's what I just now found out. The story was released today. A federal judge, just like the day after the shooting happened,
Huh?
just quietly made clear the way for people under the age of 21 down to 18, where you can
Uh-huh.
actually buy and open carry a handgun in the state of Tennessee.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yes,
You
it
got a
is.
whole bunch of confused, recently graduates from high school walking, like, I mean, it's
With a pistol. A pistol.
there should be an age,
A
like,
rifle you can
minimum.
see.
There should
You
be
know, a
age
rifle
minimum.
they can hide it, whatever, and they can take so. But a pistol, open carry or not, it's right there. I mean, they get pissed off one day at their buddy,
Mhm. Yep.
and then
Yep. I mean, people will shoot each other for stepping on somebody's shoes, over the dumbest thing. Somebody could just be having a terrible day and have a pistol on them and want to shoot somebody. Like, they should make
and,
the age limit 30. Like, you got to be at least 30 to get a gun.
and school shootings them are not just you know only happen in red states or only happen in blue states. It's happening in all the states.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's put it that way. They do happen in all the states. Some states have a little more worse off than others, but they happen in all the states. California has tight gun laws, and they've had what, 2 school shootings or 3.
Mhm.
Texas has very lax gun laws, and they've had 2 or 3 school shootings. So it doesn't really matter where side of the aisle you're on; they're
Right.
happening.
Yeah,
They're happening.
you can get a gun no matter if you legally can own one. You can get. I mean, you can make 2 or 3 phone calls. Not saying you should do this, but it's not. I mean, you could probably get a gun easier than you can find marijuana. I mean,
Oh yeah.
honestly,
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, drugs are bad, but you want a pistol?
pistol.
Gotcha.
You want to shoot? You want a drug dealer for charging you way too much? Just kidding. That was a joke, but don't do that. But yeah, hell, I was thinking about getting my. But I'm a little wild though. You know what I mean? I mean, the Lions could lose the game, and I could just be shooting in the air. I see. I know
Yeah.
myself though, right? I know myself. Like, yo, the gun is probably not a bad idea. Maybe start me off with a knife, maybe a butter knife, and work my way up. But yeah, man, it's just it's at some point you will get scared, and you're like, damn, do I need to protect myself? And if you
Hmm.
haven't ran into a gun situation or a threat situation, or you've never been into a fight before, don't get a gun. Get a few wins and losses under your belt with fisticuffs before you think about, you know what I mean? Like, I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, and he's a vet too. He was in the Marine Corps, and most Marines or vets, excuse me, probably own some sort of gun or firearm. I mean, I don't blame him. I would too. And he has experience. You got the experience. Like, what a threat is. You
Hmm.
dealt with it in the past. You know what a real to your life is. But some people who've never even, been in an altercation are owning firearms and would think the littlest argument is their life. I mean, I can
It's
say to
grounds
somebody, "Hey,
to
man,
pull.
I'm gonna beat you to a pulp," and if they never been in a fight before and they got a gun, they just shoot me. And it's like, bro,
Do you
I
know?
wasn't gonna beat you to the. You know what a pulp is? That's impossible.
Do you know?
you know?
My thing and what bothers me is now they want to here in Florida they want to do away with the. Actually, they've already. I was just waiting to be signed by the governor actually, but
Uh-huh.
the Congress, the state Congress, and all that, they voted to allow for permitless carry, so you can carry a gun concealed without a permit and without taking the class. So my problem with that is there are so many people here, so many, not just here in
Mhm.
Florida. I mean, people in general who buy a gun who think that if someone breaks into your car, that you can shoot them. You can't.
Like, no,
You
call the
cannot
cops.
do that.
Hey, somebody broke into my
But people
car.
think,
This is what
oh,
he wearing.
I see it in my car, I'm gonna shoot him. No, you can't do that at all. Well, people
I mean,
believe
unless you
that,
got a
and so
really,
people.
really nice car.
Yeah,
Mother, that was a Rolls Royce.
it's just one of those things. Like you talk to people and you ask them, "Hey, okay, you got a gun? Cool, that's fine." But
You got a gun.
when
That's
do you
cool. Don't shoot.
but when you use it, when do you know when to use it? And they'll say, "Oh man, if someone comes at me and then starts," no, no, no,
No,
no.
bro.
Unless someone's got this, you
Yeah,
ain't
unless you
pulling
see
nothing.
them with a gun about to shoot you. But then I get honestly, that's like one of those situations where it's like, well, I don't want to get shot first. You ever see in movies
I
and
mean, if
it's
they're making this motion, then yeah,
yeah.
I'm taking you out. But
I,
if I haven't seen some metal or nothing, yeah,
that's
I'm a
what's
way to be.
that's what's funny. Is a little side note. But you ever see in movies like when it's like a standoff and they just aiming at each other? I
Yeah,
never really understood that because I feel like there's no way your finger is fast enough to realize your eyes seeing them pull a trigger for you to pull a trigger simultaneously. Like all
yeah.
it takes is one of them just to pull the
Uh,
trigger. The guy's not gonna react fast enough by the time that bullet hit him. It's like you put your gun down. Like, no, I'm about to shoot. So
it happens more than you think. It's not simultaneous, but it happens more than you think because the one person that gets shot, he gets shot and he immediately pulls the trigger, which is gonna now shoot the other guy. So now they both got shot.
or you pull a Chris Tucker, put the gun down. Fight me like a man. Fight me. Hey, listen, if you really want to hurt a guy's ego and then he got a weapon, you say, why don't you just fight me like
But
a man? And then he shoots
I
you.
will
And
agree with you that before you buy a gun, you should at least get your butt whooped a few times.
yeah,
That way you
shoot your ass
understand.
over.
Hey, look,
If you lose,
this is a butt whooping. This ain't a
this ain't
beating.
that bad.
This
Ain't that
you know
bad. I mean, I'm
you know
bruised up a little bit, but
we'll be friends after this.
yeah, I'll make it to work
Versus
tomorrow. Yeah. All
versus the
right.
alternative.
You
But
ready for
yes,
what to Florida?
yes. On that note, but again, we're not making light of the situation. Again, our condolences from the weekly review, which does go out to the
Yes.
victims of the shooting, um,
Yes.
and hopefully the person that did it goes and sees their maker. Yeah,
Well, they halfway. They 6 feet closer.
that's just be closer.
Keep
Just
going
a little bit
down.
further
Keep
to
going
go.
down. A little bit
All
further.
right.